Hello friends, it's me again, Joseph, and welcome back to our channel and the Catechism for Kids series. Today we're going to share a beautiful story about courage, kindness, and a little bit of a miracle. It's the story of a brave woman named Saint Veronica and the special gift she received from Jesus. Are you ready? Let's begin. Imagine a very sad day in Jerusalem. Jesus was being forced to carry a heavy wooden cross through the streets, all the way to a hill called Calvary. The crowd was noisy and unkind. Many people were shouting mean things, mocking him, and turning away. It was a scary and painful time. But in the middle of all that noise and fear, one woman's heart was filled with love and sadness for Jesus. Her name was Veronica. While others just watched or looked away, Veronica did something amazing. She pushed through the crowd, past the soldiers, and ran right up to Jesus. She wasn't thinking about herself. She was only thinking about helping him. With so much love in her eyes, she took her own veil, a soft piece of cloth she wore, and gently wiped the sweat and blood from Jesus' tired and wounded face. It was a small act, but it was filled with enormous compassion. She couldn't stop what was happening, but she could offer a moment of comfort and show him that someone cared. And then, something truly miraculous happened. After she had comforted Jesus, Veronica stepped back into the crowd, holding her veil. When she looked down at the cloth, she saw something incredible. The face of Jesus, his holy face, was perfectly imprinted on her veil. It wasn't a painting or a drawing. It was a miraculous image, a gift from Jesus himself. This gift was his way of saying thank you. I see your kindness, and I will never forget it. This precious cloth became known as the Veil of Veronica, and it remains one of the Church's most treasured relics, a reminder of Jesus' love. So, who exactly was this brave woman, Saint Veronica? It's interesting because you won't find her name in the Bible. Her story comes to us from centuries of Christian tradition. It's a story that has been passed down because it teaches us so much. The name Veronica itself is very special. It is believed to come from the Latin words vera icon, which mean true image. Isn't that perfect? She received the true image of Jesus because of her true love for him. Her story is so important that it has become the sixth station of the cross, a special prayer where we remember Jesus' journey to his crucifixion. When we pray the stations of the cross, we stop at the sixth one to remember Veronica's courage and kindness. And we think about how she saw Jesus suffering and wasn't afraid to help. Even though she isn't in the Bible, some people believe Veronica might be a woman who is mentioned there. Have you heard the story of the woman who was sick for 12 long years? The Gospels tell us she had great faith and believed that if she could just touch the hem of Jesus' clothes, she would be healed. And she was. Jesus turned to her and said her faith had made her well. Some ancient Christian writings and traditions suggest that this woman and Veronica were the same person. It makes sense, doesn't it? A woman who was shown such great mercy by Jesus would surely want to show him mercy in his time of need. The idea that Veronica was the same woman healed of the hemorrhage was first proposed in apocryphal texts, such as the 4th or 5th century Acts of Pilate. Later, medieval tradition further developed this link, combining her stories into a single narrative of a woman whose faith was rewarded. The veil bearing the image of Jesus' face is considered a sacred relic, with some versions believed to be in St. Peter's Basilica in Rome and a monastery in Manipello, Italy. Veronica was also mentioned in the reported visions of Jesus by Marie of St. Peter, a Carmelite nun who lived in Tours, France, and started the devotion to the holy face of Jesus. In 1844, Sister Marie reported that in a vision, she saw Veronica wiping away the spit and mud from the face of Jesus with her veil on the way to Calvary. She said that sacrilegious and blasphemous acts today are adding to the spit and mud that Veronica wiped away that day, according to Marie of St. Peter in her visions. Jesus told her that he desired devotion to his holy face in reparation for sacrilege and blasphemy. Acts of reparation to Jesus Christ are thus compared to Veronica wiping the face of Jesus. The devotion to the holy face of Jesus was eventually approved by Pope Leo XIII in 1885. Now, let's talk about what this incredible story teaches us, especially as kids. First, it teaches us about courage. The street was filled with angry people and scary soldiers. It would have been very easy for Veronica to stay hidden in the crowd, but she was brave. She saw someone in need and stepped forward even when it was difficult. This teaches us that being brave means doing the right thing, even when we're scared. When we see a classmate being left out or someone struggling, we can be like Veronica and bravely offer our friendship and help. Second, the story teaches us about compassion. Compassion means feeling love and pity for someone who is suffering and wanting to help them. Veronica's heart was full of compassion for Jesus. She didn't just feel sad for him, she acted on that feeling. Her story reminds us to have soft, kind hearts and to pay attention when others are hurting. A kind heart sees the needs of others. Third, we learn that kindness is powerful. Veronica's action was small. Wiping someone's face might not seem like a big deal, but for Jesus, in that moment of terrible suffering, it was a huge comfort. It showed him he wasn't completely alone. This proves that even our small acts of kindness can make a gigantic difference. A friendly smile, a helping hand, or a kind word can bring so much light into someone's dark day. And finally, this story teaches us to see Jesus in others. Jesus himself told us something very important. He said, "Truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me." That's from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 40. This means when we are kind to someone who is sad, lonely, poor, or hurting, we are actually being kind to Jesus. When we help a friend who has fallen, share our snack with someone who is hungry, or comfort someone who is crying, we are wiping the face of Jesus, just like Veronica did. We are revealing his loving face to the world through our own actions. The Veil of Veronica, with the holy face of Jesus on it, became a symbol of mercy and love. It reminds us that Jesus sees every single act of kindness we do. He sees when you share your toys, when you listen to a friend, and when you say a prayer for someone. Nothing is too small for him to notice. These acts of love bring joy to his heart. Because of her incredible compassion, Saint Veronica is the patron saint of some very special groups of people. She is the patron saint of photographers because she captured the true image of Jesus. She is also the patron saint of laundry workers because she used a cloth to clean his face. And she is a patron saint for anyone who serves others with a compassionate heart. Her feast day is celebrated in some traditions on July 12th. So, the next time you feel a little nudge in your heart to do something kind, remember Saint Veronica. Remember that you have the power to bring comfort and love to others. And in doing so, you are bringing comfort and love to Jesus himself. You don't need to perform a big miracle. Just be brave, be compassionate, and let your small acts of kindness shine brightly. You can be a modern-day Veronica, showing the face of Christ's love to everyone you meet. Thank you so much for joining us today to learn about the wonderful story of Saint Veronica. We hope it inspired you to look for ways to be kind and courageous every day. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more stories that help us grow in faith. Take care, everyone. Stay safe and healthy as usual. We'll see you next time. Bye for now. And may the Lord bless you and keep you always.